Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are continuing on with the hashtag 507 flip-flop journal. I found out there was a hashtag, so the inspiration for this originally, I believe, comes from Leslie over at 507 Willow House Journals. But I saw it from Shawcraft One, I saw it on Genevieve Designs, and there's a plethora of videos on flip-flop journals, so look at them. They are so cool. So I thought, well, I'll just print out some graphic fairy stuff I have, documents, etc. And I had 40-pound paper in there. I didn't really like the feel of it. This is already kind of heavy with the papers, just regular scrapbook weight paper, not cardstock, but just paperweight. So I put some 20-pound paper in my printer, and it didn't like it. So yeah, it printed it the first time, and when I ran it back through, this is what happened. Well, this caused a whole avalanche of things to happen. Number one, we ordered out dinner because Mama was not in the mood to make any dinner after this. Could I just open the drawer and pull the paper back out? No. Could I pull it out in one piece? No. Will it work if there's one itty bitty little tiny little torn piece of paper in there? No. I had to get it off. I have it in the corner of one of my desks because I have this 15-foot wall that I call my studio. It's in my master bedroom. So if imagine two 6-foot doors, that's what I'm working on. This is a door with a hole plug, works perfectly, but I have another door on the other end put together just with cubicles, okay? That's my studio. But the way over in the corner under the TV and behind the sewing machine and the scan and cut and all the stuff that I haven't finished organizing is my printer. And I had to already, my computer didn't want to talk to the printer. I could print from my phone, my kids could print from anything they have, but it didn't want to print. It was the last Windows 10 up. Every time there is a Windows update, something goes wrong. Well, anyway, it was horrible. I had to take the whole printer apart. I say take the whole printer apart, but I took the drawer out, which is kind of latched in there, and you can't see how to disconnect it unless you put it together. It came put together, so I don't know. So I'm like trying not to break it, pull things out. Then there's a shelf tray above that. I had to remove that, and that's what got me this piece of paper. And then I was like, okay, well, it's still not going to work. I unplugged the printer, picked it up. My arms are really sore today because it's not a baby. It's a big HP printer, 3-in-1, okay? And it wouldn't have been that difficult to pick up had it not been way back in the corner at an odd angle. So picked it up, brought it over here under the direct light, and looking around. There's no back side of the printer. I had to open where you replace the cartridges and pull out a piece in there. Well, it was way easier than I thought it was going to be. But then I found this piece, and then I thought, okay, let's test drive it. Sure enough, all of a sudden, well, this is weird, all of a sudden it will print from my computer. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, this document is going to be used for collage. And I have some pieces saved here that are from the matting we did here, but I do want to use a piece of this. I love this document. That was so cool with the writing, and I'll try to emulate a little bit of Leslie, the way she just pulls out a little tiny piece of paper and says, oh, I love that. I just she's cute. Go take a look at her videos. I will leave a link below. But I never thought of paper as lovely as after I watched Leslie's video, and I think she's from Texas, I believe. Okay, so this is the back side. This, I think, is what I wanted for the front side. Not that it matters, because I'm going to have to put a focal point here. But let me show you what I did. So we have this little flap, then we have this, and then we have a pocket here. I did glue this down a little bit better. There's still some white in there, and I think I may glue another, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. When I get papers in there, it's not really going to show, but I feel like I might need maybe even some washi tape, just for reinforcement. Then we have this. Okay, so this is where this all flips out like so. I'm tempted to make a pocket here, and glue those two sides down and use that as a pocket. A journal will go here. Okay, and anyway, then you keep rolling this over and you have the back side. It's kind of like a do-si-do. We did a do-si-do before, so I've got this little map piece on here, and that was from, this is the haberdashery collection from Hobby Lobby. I think, no, it's not haberdashery. What is it? Theodosia Square, but it is the paper studio from Hobby Lobby. Okay, so then on this side we open up, and then we have this. This is the only window I kept. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna have to put a flower or something there, because there's it's a glue booger in there. Do you see it? How did that happen? Did you guys see it on the last video? Okay, well, I matted this, I matted that. I don't know why I keep thinking this is upside down. The writing is right way up, but for some reason, I don't know if it's these, they feel like they're upside down. And then I matted this, this flips out, this could also be a pocket. So anyway, I'm not sure exactly where I want to, I think I'm going to put a journal here, and I'm not going to put one there, so I may turn that into a pocket, but I don't want to glue it down yet because I want to make sure that's what I'm going to do. So first thing I want to do is collage this page, and oh my gosh, I can't believe that is there. That's going to bug me, and there's nothing I can do because I've already covered over that. I mean, I'd have to cut the cellophane off. Oh my gosh. So there is going to have to be a flower or something, flat flower. Don't let me forget, guys. Okay, so let's just start with a piece. I kind of want a piece of this writing, although that's not really a lot of room. I want to cut that straight. Does it need to be straight? Not really. Let's tear it. Why not? It's a little out of my comfort zone. I do like the grungy journals when they're finished, but in the process, I don't need to ink that side. In the process, it's a little daunting, I guess, because I've always done everything so inside the box. You know what I mean? So this is a good exercise in working outside your comfort zone, and because you'll be surprised at how great it is once it's finished. I want to cover this little part right here where it goes over, but I don't want it to be so crooked. There we go. Oh, I got a little bit of glue there, and then I will just trim that off. My son, oh, I'm going to have to go get that. My son made me a tear ruler. He has a 3D printer, so the next thing I've got to, I asked him to make me a little thicker one, but let me go get that. I'll be right back. Okay, I forgot, what were we doing? Oh, this is upside down. Yes, we were doing this. Okay. And I don't care if there's a little, you know, stuff lifting up or whatever. This is my tear ruler that my son made. It's not perfect. This is a prototype, but it works. Has a little jaggedy edge, and then he just stretched it out a little bit, because I told him on those big tear rulers that you can buy for like $30 a set of 3, they're super thick, and I do want this a little bit thicker because I think he did like 1 millimeter or 1/16 of an inch or something. It is a little bendy, so he's going to make it a little bit thicker. He did 1-inch lines just to give me a guide, not an exact measurement, but just a guide. And then, but I had bought him a roll of the pink filament so he could make stuff for me, and then he makes stuff for everyone else and not me. So, all right, I'm going to put a piece of this. That doesn't really work. There has to be a bevel. I need to play with it and see. I kind of want to just set this down here and move on, get this finished. And then I have printed out a bunch of stuff from Graphics Fairy. Not a bunch, because, you know, the printer. But a few things. And then I pulled out my music books and my dictionary and my shorthand book and what else? I don't know, whatever, so that I'd have options for, yeah, I like that, And yeah, I'm not sure. I think this might need a beveled edge, so we'll see. That's why I wanted it a little bit thicker. But you know how kids are. They like, oh, I didn't know. I forgot. So let's see. If I hold this down and pull that off, that's good. It works. It works. I kind of like the way that Leslie kind of sticks up stuff under. She doesn't like glue it down until she gets everything the way she wants it. And I probably should do a little more of that, because it'd be easier, or work from the bottom up as well. So let's see, yeah, I'm going to do that. And I am going to try and stay on that line there, and then I'll tear on the side. So let's leave a line so that we can put stuff underneath. I left my glue open when I went in the other room, and then my son was like, hey, can you show me where you're going to put the garden stuff, so that I know, because I need the sprinklers to be capped off. So, although he said, I can't cap it off, you'll have to have Dad do it, so I'm sure we need parts for that too. Okay, and I probably put glue too far. Now I can come along here. Anyway, while we were out there, then I was like, you know, and I'd like this, and I'd like that, and can you do this, and can you do that, because, oh my gosh, that backyard needs some serious help. And we were talking about the fence, and part of our fence is starting to fall down in the front. So, need to have, need to have somebody come and look at that. Alright, let's tear this piece off. Right there. Right there. I'm not keeping all these little itty bitty pieces because they're kind of annoying sometimes, but let's put something interesting down the side here. That was the one concern I had, is because of the size of his printer, this can only be 8 inches, I think it is. Yeah. So he said he might be able to do 9, but he can't do 12, which is what I originally wanted. So, all right, let's see. If I do this is almost 3/4 of an inch. So if I do an inch on here, then that'll be pretty good. And I need to hold it down. All right. Yeah, like I said, collaging is a little almost chaotic to me at times. I usually like it when it's all finished, but doing it I feel like, so I don't know. I want to get on with the other stuff. I think I'm going to put 3 signatures, but we'll see. I'm not sure that I want to have signatures behind the small ones, the small envelopes. But if I change my mind, then I will have 5, because I'll do both probably. I will have 5. Now I can leave a little edge here, because if I go too far, I will risk it lifting. So I'm going to leave like about 1/8 of an inch. You see this line right here? So when I was putting this brown paper on, I was using my knife to trim it, and I went right into the washi tape. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put a little ink under there and some glue and leave it, because I think it looks okay. All right. So we've got that covered on 3 sides. And down here, so let's do something fun down here. Now I have that one, let's do this green. Yeah, that'll be good. And if I line it up there, and then you know what, I think I want to make a straight edge on this one, right about there. Put the cover on the ink, because it dries out so quickly around here. Okay, I'm just going to cut off that little, it's just like 3/8 of an inch. And then that should go right there. And I think I'm going to tear the top. And then we'll ink it. So let's use this line for a guide. Perfect. A little bit more ink. And I could put a pocket here, and I may come back and put a pocket here. But I don't really want to cover this up either. So I may put a pocket on this side. And then I can clip something here or clip something over the top. But I am going to have to cover up that glue booger. That is so gross. I can't believe I missed that. Alright, so this is going to be here, 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 like so. And then that covers all our sides. I'm going to leave that one kind of curled up. Probably should have left, oh, there we go. There's a little bit there. Can kind of curl up. I have lots of excess glue on that piece. That's the one that, and this, like that. Okay, I kind of like the edge that makes on that ruler, so that's cool. So he's going to try and print me out one that's a little bit thicker. So I think I need it to sturdier. Okay, so I'm just going to keep laying all my pieces parts over here on the left in case I need them. And I think I showed you guys that page that had all of these on it. I went ahead and backed them. Stuff all over my fingers. I went ahead and backed them with this green paper, so they're a little bit sturdier, but I'll probably round the corners and ink them, and I'm thinking we might use one of those for our focal point. So I kind of like this one, and I think that'll be really pretty there. So let me get my corner rounder, and then we'll layer some stuff behind there. Do I want quarter? No. I think I want the the whole thing. Okay. And then I want to ink. Okay, I don't know quite where we were, but I think we were talking about this. So I was kind of playing around with this, and I decided I want to put lace on here. I love this. This is in the wedding department at, or floral department at Walmart. And I want to say I paid $6.99, and it's a ton of this 6-inch wide lace. Love it, love it. All right, so I'm going to put that on there. Wait, is that where I wanted it? You know, I got this backwards already. This is the back, this is the front. So let me take that off because I want to do this on the front. All right, so this is for the back. I have, because my battery died, so timely, and then I was cutting this piece of lace and I cut my finger. Guys, I am dangerous to myself. The other day I poked myself with the trimmer, and then that same night I cut myself on my knuckle with a kitchen knife, so I couldn't bend this finger for a couple days. And then I cut myself right here because I was holding this lace and using these dang Tim Holtz scissors. They are very sharp. They cut right through your skin. So be careful, my friends. All right, so this feels a little crooked, but I'm going to go with it. I can trim off anything I don't want, so I'm just going to kind of do some circles here. But I decided while the battery was charging, usually only takes about an hour to get a halfway decent charge, and I decided that I'm going to turn this upside down so I can see here, but I played a little to see what I wanted to do here. And I'm just going to put that down. Don't need it to be straight. However, I do need my little silicone doohickey because I don't want to get that all over my... And then I am going to trim this off a little bit more carefully. Without cutting through my finger. There we go. Okay. All right. And then I did take this lady now. These are backed, but that's okay because I want to use this for the front cover. And I'm going to be using them for various things, pockets, etc. I did use my markers. Now I have this set, and let's see. Oh, I got these. These are from Walmart, Pin and Gear. Dual end markers. They have a chisel tip on one side and like a felt tip. This kind of Papermate tip on the other side. So I really like them. And I don't think that was very expensive. I don't remember, but I did add a little bit of lipstick and little blue eyes to her. So I think I'm going to add this first. I was trying to figure out which way I want this. I think that this side should go here. And then do I want that on top or on the bottom? I think I want it on top. So I am going to put this down. And I'm going to have to put a little bit thicker because it's got to go through all that lace. So I'm just going to kind of dot some glue on here. Hopefully that will hold it enough. And use my little doohickey. Okay. And I'm going to hang this off the bottom. Oh gosh, maybe however much that is. Just so there's a little bit showing off the bottom. about 1/4 of an inch maybe, not even. I flipped this over to the other side, so there we go. And when this is dry, it peels right off. I love that. Okay, let's make sure we're not gluing that down to anything. It looks pretty even. Okay, and ink around her. Okay, so I'm going to put her, yeah, just barely over the bottom lace. Make it a little extra thick. I want to make sure that it can grab. And let's put that right about there. Okay, I'm going to hold that down just for a second. And I made a bow, a little tiny crochet trim bow with my little bow maker that comes in quite handy. I hadn't used it in a really long time, and I forgot how to use it, and I had to play with it for a while. So a lot of that glue is still coming through there. I'll make sure I get that off my hands. I wish I had a teeny tiny little pearl or some of those, well, I always called them pearl drops, but they're not. Liquid pearls or something like that. But I don't have anything that small. I'm just going to pull this down just a smidge, and I think I might want these a little shorter. And I want the bow going. See, this is how I cut myself. So I was cutting that way, and I cut right into the other finger. Alright, and I think I'm going to put that right. She has a knot right there at the end of her collar, and I think that's where I'm going to put that. So I may have to trim those off again to make sure. So I'm going to put a dollop of glue there, trying not to make a huge mess, but it came out faster whenever you don't want it to. Let it sit for a second. And like I said, I think I'm going to trim just a little bit more because I don't want it coming off this edge, so maybe 1/4 of an inch more. There we go. That should do it. And put that down right there. Yeah, that's perfect. Pretty lady. So I need a clippy. Oh, that's not going to reach. I should have glued that on before. Well, let me just hold this here for a minute and I'll fast forward or cut this part out so you won't have to wait. Because I need to do the other side and I don't want the bow falling off. I probably should have just waited, but we'll give it a minute. Anyway, I think this is dry enough that I can flip this page over now. And I've got this piece, which I'm going to go ahead and trim here. I have inked it, and I've rounded the one corner. I like to do that. And put some of this trim. Good, and then I will trim the edges. Okay. And then I want to attach this down as a little corner tuck. And I did make these little pockets, tags, while we were waiting for the battery to charge. I just used my little Paper Studio tag topper punch, but you could just clip the corners, and then I made, this is actually the same punch, but you can see when it's narrow, it doesn't have the little extra flare on there. And this one says great things take time. It's blank. I didn't put a string on that one. I just tucked that in there, and then I put some seam binding on the top. And I used some of the scrap papers that I have laying over here on the side, folded a piece back. This is what I used for the pockets, and covered a piece of coffee dyed cardstock just so it was a little sturdier for a tag, and then that goes right inside there. And then I want to do the same thing with this one. So I've already attached the pocket, and I don't know why I have that hanging down so far, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. And on this one it says everything has beauty, and it's the same kind of tag, backed on the coffee dyed paper or cardstock. This is also coffee dyed cardstock. This was white on the back because I think this was printed cardstock, or printed tea dyed paper, probably from Leanna Scrap. Okay, and then so that goes in there, and then on this side I'm just going to do a repeat of what we just did, only I have this Le Monde Illustré Journal of La Famille. Okay, so we're going out for an afternoon bike ride. If I had a guy to pull me along, I'd go out every afternoon as well. Can you imagine? That would have been good times. So, all right, so then I want to attach this first. Because this is the back side, I am not going to put any bows or anything extra as far as like I did the bow on the front of her dress, that one on the other side. So I don't want to do that here because it has a tendency to get snagged on stuff, and I'm just gonna attach that down. And I was gonna show you how this just comes right off. Look at that. Just rolls right off when it's dry. Now if you leave it on longer, it's gonna be a little stiffer, but I've left it on a couple of days and it still came off. All right, so let's trim this up. Just coming under the lace. I want to keep my fingers clear. I don't trust myself anymore. I told my daughter, I said, how long have I been doing this? And in the last week, I have cut myself 3 times. Now, granted, only 2 of it was here at the desk. Once was in the kitchen, but gee whiz. Okay, so let's get that down. And then I want to put this down. Does it go this way or this way? And then I need to trim that off here. How straight can I go? So I'm going to have this hang over just a tad more than the other side. I don't want it sticking up a lot, but I want enough that it will attach. Get that over here. Up on this side, just a little bit. That picture is going to go in there and fix it, so it's not going to be okay. We'll attach this. And I filled up this bottle this morning, and it's already I'm using a lot of glue. Okay. So let's do like we did the last one. About right there. Okay. I'm going to double check this side, make sure she still looks good. Okay, and we have the tag in there like that. Okay, so that's the front and the back. I counted those, you know, I keep my little checklist here. Now, like I said, this is the hashtag 507 flip-flop journal. I think I mentioned all of this. Leslie at 507 Willow House Journals. And so front and back pocket, and I'm going to count that as the corner tucks. Basically, the next thing I want to do, it says side tucks. So I think I'm going to do side tucks in this one, but then also I have those two pockets. I'd like those to flip out. Yeah, let's see. If I do a side tuck here and a side tuck here, that would work. Then I wouldn't have to put a journal there or a signature there, right? So let's do that. Let's see what we've got here that we can do that's contrasting. I have some of this would totally be contrasting, as well as this. So let's see about that other one. I need something a little, this would not work, but this will. So I'll put that on that piece, and we will flip this over and work on this side pocket. So for double strength, I'm going to fold this way and make a little bit sturdier pocket, like such. Okay, I didn't cut straight, or I didn't fold straight. Let's fix that. What else is new? It's just barely off. Ink would probably take care of it. You could do a flip out if you wanted more journaling space there, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to go ahead and just glue this, and I'm going to use my Create, Scotch Create glue for this. And I want to get all of it glue so that we don't have anything coming up. And I lost my big bone folder. I see my small ones right here. So my bigger one is in the mess somewhere. All right. So this is going to go here and here. So I'm going to go ahead and tear that off with my bigger ruler. That's the one thing about that one that my son made is not, because it's thin, it's not quite strong enough for this. Okay, I need a little bit more off, so I'm just going to cut it because there we go. So now I will ink because it looks cool. You can see I still have a little bit down here where I went off. The glue hasn't quite dried, so it's a little flimsy here. And yes, I want to put that on the outside edge, and I'm going to turn it this way so I can center it. I really like that side better, but that's not the fold side. And if I put it like that, it's upside down. So Yeah, I'll just do it this way. I would rather have that edge be a little sturdier than have that really cool design. I mean, it's not like this other side is ugly or anything. Still pretty paper. And I'm just going to put that just centered up against the edge. And then we will have to find something to put in there. I have all these extra papers over here on the side that are from cutting out the page mats. So let's see if we can find one of those that works. I got this one. And we'll do that. Okay. And I think I'll just fold that in half and tuck it in there. So I'm not worried about every white space being covered and non-white. So even if you have a vintage package, you're going to have these little lines on here like this, but it's going to be white on the inside where the light hasn't hit it, so it'll be fine. And, you know, it does look cool to have everything backed with tea dye and coffee dyed paper, but it's not absolutely necessary. This has some glue from the packaging still, from the tablet it was in. And I do kind of like when it's a little wrinkly, like this right here, if that kind of get that so it's kind of rolled back a little bit. Let's see, I've got a paintbrush here. Kind of roll it back on itself a little bit. Okay, and we can just tuck that right in there, however we want. Now that I rolled that up, then of course I don't want to glue it in, but that works pretty good. Do I want to put lace along here? I think I do. I mean, I'm not going for skinny on this journal, so let's just put some lace. I have my handy dandy Dollar Tree crochet trim here that I love. Just put that along the edge. Doesn't take up that much extra room, but it adds a different dimension. There we go. All right, so there's that side tuck, and I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing, only this time we're going to use this orange. Let's see if I can fold a little bit straighter. Right there. Line that up. I think I glued the other one down first before I trimmed it, so I've got a piece that could be used as a open booklet, or I've got a piece that is solid. Okay. I like the way these look like this. Don't need to do that side, need to do this side. So, guess we don't want to have any interference with that. Just like that. A little bit of music page showing there. And then I want to have my lace. So we have the front and the back cover, and inside we have a little corner tuck. Then we have a side tuck here with an insert, and a side tuck here with an insert. And so I think I'm going to call that a video, and then clean up my desk a little bit, and when we come back we'll start working on the signatures. Thanks for watching. See you soon.